Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about the MCQ questions under the listening section in this video. Now this video is also a part of IELTS complete course. Save the playlist if you haven't, the link is in the description. Or you can click on the I button and then save the playlist. Now I'm going to talk about these MCQ questions which are of two types, but I'm going to cover type 1 that is covered in task 2. Here the difficulty level remains moderate, intermediary in nature. So what you are supposed to do is, out of the 3 options in the question, you are supposed to pick one. In this kind of question, you just have 3 options. At the max, it may lead to 5 at times, but the question length is small and the options length is also small. So you will not have long questions, long options that takes a lot of time to read and understand, but you have short questions. Okay, now before I proceed to how to map and understand and attempt these questions, please requesting you to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that whenever my new content gets uploaded, you get a notification and you do not miss the new content for this complete IELTS course. Let's get started. Another point I have to mention is, in this section you will see a conversation between 2 or more people, maximum 3, not more than that. Now coming to the question, I'm going to show you a question on the screen and play the audio so that you have a fair view on what kind of question I am talking about.
You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a woman telephoning a tourist office to ask about free activities. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning, this is Burnham Tourist Office, Martin speaking.
Oh, hello. I saw a poster about free things to do in the area, and it said people should phone you for information. I'm coming to Burnham with my husband and 2 children for a few days on June the 27th, or possibly the 28th, and I'd like some ideas for things to do on the 29th.
Yes, of course.
The date that the woman wants information about is the 29th of June, so the letter C has been circled. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning, this is Burnham Tourist Office, Martin speaking.
Oh, hello. I saw a poster about free things to do in the area, and it said people should phone you for information. I'm coming to Burnham with my husband and 2 children for a few days on June the 27th, or possibly the 28th, and I'd like some ideas for things to do on the 29th.
Yes, of course. OK. Then let's start with a couple of events especially for children. The art gallery is holding an event called Family Welcome that day, when there are activities and trails to use throughout the gallery.
That sounds interesting. What time does it start?
The gallery opens at 10 and the family welcome event runs from 10:30 until 2 o'clock. The gallery stays open until 5, and several times during the day they're going to show a short film that the gallery has produced. It demonstrates how ceramics are made, and there'll be equipment and materials for children to have a go themselves. Last time they ran the event there was a film about painting, which went down very well with the children, and they're now working on one about sculpture.
I like the sound of that. And what other events happen in Burnham?
Well, do you all enjoy listening to music?
Oh, yes.
Well, there are several free concerts taking place at different times, 1 or 2 in the morning, the majority at lunchtime and a couple in the evening, and they range from pop music to Latin American.
The Latin American could be fun. What time is that?
It's being repeated several times in different places. They're performing in the Central Library at 1 o'clock, then at 4 it's in the City Museum, and in the evening at 7:30 there's a longer concert in the theatre.
Right. I'll suggest that to the rest of the family.
Something else you might be interested in is the boat race along the river.
Oh, yes. Do tell me about that.
The race starts at Offord Marina to the north of Burnham and goes as far as Summer Pool. The best place to watch it from is Charlesworth Bridge, though that does get rather crowded.
And who's taking part?
Well, local boat clubs, but the standard is very high. One of them came first in the West of England Regional Championship in May this year. It was the first time a team from Burnham has won. It means that next year they'll be representing the region in the National Championship.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Now, I've heard something about Paxton Nature Reserve. It's a good place for spotting unusual birds, isn't it?
That's right, throughout the year. There is a lake there as well as a river, and they provide a very attractive habitat. So it's a good idea to bring binoculars if you have them. And just at the moment you can see various flowers that are pretty unusual. The soil at Paxton isn't very common. They're looking good right now.
Right. My husband will be particularly interested in that.
And there's going to be a talk and slideshow about mushrooms, and you'll be able to go out and pick some afterwards and study the different varieties.
Uh-huh. And is it possible for children to swim in the river?
Yes, part of it has been fenced off to make it safe for children to swim in. It's very shallow and there's a lifeguard on duty whenever it's open. The lake is too deep, so swimming isn't allowed there.
OK, we must remember to bring their swimming things in case we go to Paxton. How long does it take to get there by car from Burnham?
About 20 minutes, but parking is very limited, so it's usually much easier to go by bus, and it takes about the same time.
Right. Well, I'll discuss the options with the rest of the family. Thanks very much for all your help.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now your first question after this audio must be, tell me the trick to crack this. Is that always the first option is the answer or the last option is the answer? Guys, to make you aware, there's no such trick like that, but there is a methodology. So let me talk about the strategies. First of all, make note that the speaker will always take you across the questions in a chronological order. The options as well. So if first question has been spoken about, the conversation is about that question, then the options will also be spoken about in a chronological order. Another thing, the speaker will try to play smart here. What he'll do is he'll try to pick up one option, talk about it so that you think that, oh, it is being spoken, this is the answer. But then twist the option around and reject it in the conversation. So as you saw in this audio, this happens multiple times. The only key to get this question right is you have to put your concentration and focus. So what will happen is once he says yes, the medicines is right, for example. And then the other speaker will say, but no, I do not agree because the medicines aren't available at the nearest store. So do you see? You thought that yes, one speaker agreed, so this is the answer, but another speaker rejected it. So in total, the answer is rejected. Move on to next option. That might be the correct answer. Another thing now. What happens is some people say that do not rush. Take your time. Be patient. Do not read. Once the question begins, then start reading the questions. No, that's a big no. The trick here is once the speaker is speaking the instructions, that is the time, that 1 minute or 30 seconds is your time. You have to quickly go across the questions. Another thing that you have to do is here you will be able to practice quick reading. Okay, people say that, be calm, be at your pace. You have to start practicing doing quick reading. So in a quick note, you will understand the question and not just the question. Also read the options. Now coming to another strategy here, using the highlighting keyword strategy. If you are giving a paper-based test, in that case, you can mark it with the help of pen and paper. If you are giving computer-based test, you can just highlight on the screen. So go across one option, second and third, and try to highlight the keywords. Keywords here are the flashing words, or the important words that are picking your attention. So when there is a short length option, you can easily pick up any keyword that seems important to you. The conversation will be around that keyword for sure, and it will help you to pick that yes, it is being spoken and the user is agreeing to it. That means this is the option. So try using that. So as I showed before, the practice question on the audio, what you were supposed to do at that time was you hear the instructions and simultaneously read that question and option because you are aware what you need to do in that question. Okay. Now, another thing would be while the speaker is taking you across the option, keep underlining, keep highlighting. Do not waste any moment. So that's all for this video. To conclude, there is no major methodology to follow it or a major trick that will help you give the correct answer. But yes, there are 3 to 4 steps that you need to do, which is read quickly, highlight the keywords, do not waste any time, put your concentration and full focus on the options. Lastly, do not get into the trick where the user speaks that option and then rejects it. Make sure that you understand what he's saying. If you're weak in listening, try to listen to more, English-based films or audiobooks. If you're weak in reading, in quick reading, try to read a newspaper or a nice book that interests you. So that's it. That is all I can share in this video, and it is quite simple. I think it comes by practice. So keep practicing, and if you have any queries, write to me at akriti.bhalla10@gmail.com. And please subscribe to my channel, again requesting you to save my playlist and hit the bell icon so that my more videos in this section makes things more clear to you. See you in the next video.